Let's turn to another topic that was a source of contention on the debate stage: legalizing marijuana. Former Ambassador Phil Murphy, the Democrat, wants it done, and he says it's beyond just revenue. It's about social justice.
If it doesn't pass the social justice test, you can't talk about the revenue implications. And the fact of the matter is we have the widest white, non-white gap of persons incarcerated in America, in New Jersey. It's not the only reason, but the biggest contributing factor is our low-end drug crimes.
Lieutenant Governor Kim Guadagno, the Republican candidate, disagrees, citing double-digit increases in states that have had it legalized in traffic fatalities. Let's bring in our panel to break it all down. Laura, Bob. Bob, let me start with you on this. Legalize it, not legalize it. Phil Murphy seems to have embraced a different tune in this debate, talking about social justice, not revenue.
Well, I'll talk about social justice. The fact of the matter is, based upon some of the mandatory sentencing laws we have in this state, if you were in Morris County, where I was a prosecutor, a possession with the intent to distribute or a distribution is handled one way if you're not within 1,000 feet of a school or 500 foot of a park. But if you're in Jersey City, Camden, Trenton, Newark, the same exact crime is treated with a mandatory state prison sentence. And there's no question about the fact, since 1986, we passed mandatory drug laws. We as prosecutors would sit there sometimes and shake our heads, feeling bad that some young kids who made a mistake, maybe passing a joint between one another, which is a distribution, are going to state prison.
But is this about the laws, or is this about legalizing pot? What do you think?
What I actually think this is about is harnessing a contentious issue for political gain. Because what you have here is a debate about the wrong issue. What should really be happening is we should be fixing the medical marijuana issue in this state. No one disagrees with medical use of marijuana. We need to fix that situation and leave the far more complex debate about what should be done about recreational use for later.
Do you agree with that? Because I agree with that, and I talked about it on the radio this morning, saying that the way we do medical marijuana in New Jersey is a disaster. The prices are high, the access is limited, it's horrible.
Yeah, but these are things that can be fixed if you have the right minds in the room. What bothers me or concerns me is that as a law enforcement official, we are sworn a duty to execute and the laws that are passed by the legislature. Decriminalizing it essentially is telling a law enforcement officer, don't execute on the laws that have been passed. You either make it legal or you don't make it legal. You don't go in between. It's putting a square peg in a round hole, or vice versa.
Hey, Laura, let's talk about the social justice aspect. Isn't this, doesn't this really just speak to racism in the system? I mean, if you legalize it, aren't you really targeting a minority community?
Well, what I do think that the social justice impact here is an important one, because you look at the marijuana laws, you look at the prosecution, and you see a disproportionate impact on racial minorities. But of course, marijuana laws are not the only criminal laws that have that disproportionate impact. So I think it's an important factor to consider. I think it's something to look to remedy, but I don't think it's a standalone.
Those minority communities need help in other ways? I mean, if the laws are skewed toward putting people in jail for something as small as passing a joint, it seems to me that legalizing it is just spreading the drugs around a community that needs jobs, not drugs.
This is marijuana, Bill. Let's be real here. They're getting it anyway. This is not, anybody can go out on the street and get marijuana. This is ridiculous. The only thing we do by decriminalizing it is assist the drug dealers who are going to be yippee.
So you say keep it illegal, but change the laws?
I think that we should get to a point where we consider legalizing it in an appropriate way, because the fact of the matter is, it's out there, people are getting it. This is a political talking point as opposed to the reality.
That's right.
Murphy's plan not workable?
I don't know that Murphy's plan is workable now. I think there may come a time when legalizing it's the right thing. I think we're not there yet. We got to fix the real problem first.
Okay, thanks guys. Let's check in on some of the headlines we're chasing for you tonight.